Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and I'd like to welcome you back to Throwback Friday and number 36. Fingers crossed this week's title's correct. Right, so let's jump straight in with our very first video today, which is Whips, Bits and Chat number 35. Now on to my UFOs. Now, as I told you last week, I believe it was last week, maybe even the week before, I hope it was last week. I'm rambling again. I'm making myself a Christmas jumper. I've not had a chance to touch it much this week because I've been working on the other two videos I was telling you about a second ago. So at the moment it is now, let me see if I can get the right end for a start. There's the end. Right, so when I showed it to you last week, I had got, I believe, to here, which was on one cake. Now I've made it up to where I'm going to be doing the sleeves, adding the extra sections, not for the sleeves, sorry, for the shoulders. So that is it. That is as far as I've got so far, but I am working the front and the back at the same time. So I'm hoping, I'm really hoping to have this one finished within the next week. But we'll just have to wait and see. I might be sewing it up for myself on Christmas Eve. Right, my next item is something that you guys wouldn't have seen for quite a while, or if you're newer to the channel, you wouldn't have seen it at all. Now, the backstory to this is my best mate's evil. I love her to bits, but she's evil. Her son supports a football team. I'm pulling that face because they're my football team's rivals. Or at least they were when I was growing up. So these colours are normally banned in this house, being put together, they're banned. So of course my best mate thought it was highly hilarious to order 2 giant cushion covers and possibly a blanket for her son for Christmas. Now she wanted, well, she didn't want, I'd suggested putting the emblem of the football group, see, I hate them that much. Basically putting the emblem within the blanket and making it another corner to corner. But when I started working on writing up the pattern for it, I realised that it would have taken over a double bed. And the cost just to buy the yarn was going to be way out of what we would have agreed. So at some point I will just knock her up a stripy one to match the cushion covers, but she said to me she can hold out till next Christmas if needs be. So, and on top of that, she's also helping me cheat. She's buying the emblems so that I can sew them on the front of the cushions. So these are the cushion covers. They are massive. I put them on the unicorn, not the unicorn, the cupcake pillow insert into it to take a photo, which I will show you in a moment. And it doesn't even fit that, and that's a 16 by 16, so, and that's squidged into there, by the way, because that's only a 14 cover. But so this one is absolutely humongous. Right, so here is the front. What we've actually decided was I was going to do the home strip and an away strip. And so here is the front of either the home or away, I can't quite remember. Brownie points for guessing the team. And if you say you support it, that's it. I'm not talking to you for a whole day. Right, so that is the, as I said, that is either the home or away. And then the other one has the colours reversed on it. Okay, so that's the fronts. And then he picked his 2 favourite player numbers. So on the back we have a number 41 and then number 30. I don't know which person it represents, which person it represents or anything, because they're not my team. Come on, shrimps. Now these are really simple to make up. I made them up in one full panel, so really if I'd liked the team I could have actually sewn the front and back together and turned it into a dress. It also has a folded bottom here, so that it basically holds the cushion a lot nicer. Now I've done the same thing on the cupcake blanket, but that was in parts, whereas this one has been worked all in one go. Can't believe I nearly forgot to tell you about that. Right, on to the next item. Right, and then the next makeup was for the last video, of course, and that one was this little guy here. Now this is a gingerbread person. Got to be politically correct, but he's a gingerbread man with a pink hat on. That's politically correct for me. And with his little gumdrop buttons, and he is actually a gift card holder. Now, yes, I have got my local shop's loyalty card in there because I haven't bought a gift card for him. But it's the same size as a normal gift card, so, or credit card size, so you know your credit card from whatever, your gift card, sorry, from whatever country you're in will fit. For God's sake, don't put your credit cards in, otherwise the kids will have a field day. But there he is. Now, I couldn't let him go on his own. Okay, I could have done it. I could have held out until next year to add the rest of the set, or said to you, here's number 1, purchase the pattern for number 2. So number 2 is a snowman. Okay, he's not showing up too brilliantly. And now this snowman wasn't done with the original gumdrop buttons, he was actually done with black round buttons. And then I couldn't let him go without his friend. So there is also, okay, it's the wrong hat and scarf combo. This is meant to be going on another gingerbread man, but I needed to complete this today so that I could show you. So he's not a perfect one as far as his hat's concerned. I love his hat, but it just doesn't work with him. But anyway, here is number 2 snowman. This cheeky smiley face. And stick for arms. And then of course you can't leave the set on its own without having Father Christmas. Right, so in the video that shows all of these, I have actually managed to find a clip, not a clip, sorry, a little cute thing that I can use as a belt buckle. Now I understand that because time is limited, you can't order these from China for this year. But the link will be below in that video for you to be able to find this on Zoom and order it, or find something similar to it on another site and get it ordered in for next year. But so what I'm going to do is grab a silver and make a belt buckle up and show you how to do that and add it to this little guy as well. So he came with button eyes, but again the video will show you alternatives instead of using buttons or beads if you haven't got them. So there is, where's he? There, oh, hold on a minute. Right, so here they are. I hope you like them. I think they're a brilliant way to use up those tiny little bits of scrap balls that you have left, especially on the hats and things for the snowmen and the gumdrop buttons on our little guy here. So there we go. Right, sorry about the pitter pattering on the window. I can't do anything about it. It is raining in my little shire yet again. But it's now time to move on to your completed projects. Now this week I got a photograph come through from Sabrina Melodou. I still can't get your name right, can I, honey? But I will pop a link down below to her unveiling of the blanket. And here it is. Here's a cheeky look as well. So what do you think? I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact that she's chosen to break from the blues and hit the pinks. And her candy cane border she has done in the 2 shades of pink to make it pop a little bit more than what it was going to do. I absolutely love it, darling. And my old boy sitting on there thinks your girl's really cute. So on to the next item. Right, so over on my Facebook group this week, I've been chatting to Julie Edwards, and she's saying how she'd never made a corner to corner blanket, let alone one with the picture. So I pointed her in the direction of the cupcake blanket. And because it is a smaller patch to make, because you make 2 cupcake patches and then 2 plain patches to then sew together. Or as Sabrina has done in the past, she made a cupcake bag just by using the front panel and then creating a back panel of her own. I'll pop a picture in now. Right, so getting back to Julie. Julie said to me about 4 days ago that she was busy doing fingerless mitts for her family and orders and things like that, but she will give the pattern a go. So she picked up the courage and she took the plunge, and I'm using her words here, not mine, and she has started making the cupcake blanket. I released the first patch. So I'm going to pop a picture up and show you what I think. Now, I wouldn't normally show an incomplete item. I like to wait until it's completely finished before I show it off. But this time around, Julie, I'm doing it to give you a bit of an extra oomph to keep going, honey. Because for your first attempt, Julie, it's flawless, honey. Absolutely flawless. I am loving the way it's turning out. And I can't wait to see what you turn your little square into. Whether it will be a bag, a cushion, or the big blanket. Have fun with it, babes. Oh, that jumper. I nicked it off my husband. I haven't got many Christmas jumpers, thankfully. Because, of course, they only come out once a year, don't they? Well, we all know. That jumper didn't get finished before Christmas, did it? But of course, last week's Whips and Bits, I did show you the finished jumper. So, Bestie's cushion covers. Well, they both got finished. They both had numbers put on the back. They haven't had emblems put on the front. But Bestie got them about a month ago now. Finally, they've been sitting on the top of the cupboard in here for quite a while. And I delivered, like, she got them. Her lad absolutely adores them, and her elder lad, he's like 25 nearly, looked at me, smiled, said, I love those cushion covers, can I have 2 as well? I did try to overcharge him. I told him it would cost him $1 million because I hate that football group. He laughed his head off. So soon I'm going to grab the colours for that and start on another set of them. But I've said to him he is going to have to hold out until the poppies are finished. So a bit further on in this video, of course, I will be showing you at the start of that video for #12 and also the remaining 12 days of Christmas videos. Let's keep an eye out. Talking of the 12 days of Christmas, let's go now and have a look at day number 11. 12 days of Christmas, day 11. Okay, so for day 11, I'm doing a bit of a mix on this one. Now, this was my first ever attempt, and no, there isn't a pattern of this exact thing on YouTube, but this was an amalgamation of patterns from other creators, and I will find them in a second and I'll pop the links above and below. Right, so, and it's not finished because it needs a robin. So if any of you know of any decent little robin patterns, little amigurumi robins that won't take me too long to knock up, if you could stick them in, tell me about them in the comment section below, I would be so chuffed because I haven't found one that's quite right yet. But right, so here is today's show. Now this one is a mix of 3 different patterns, soon hopefully to be 5 when I find a little robin to go in here and then a cute bow to go on top. But for this year it looks quite bland and boring like this. Now I'll talk you through it. There's 3 different tutorials I've used to make this as it stands so far. Now the first one is this green section here. Now I didn't have a lot of coloured choice, a lot of yarn colour choices back when I made this. I was literally buying yarn for certain projects, and if I was lucky I would have some left over to do something else with. So this first section here is a pattern by Blossom Crochet. It is the Christmas series episode 2, crochet hanging door wreath. Now she actually did stripes, but as I said, I didn't have enough yarn to do stripes, so we got stuck with the one base colour. And then the next pattern I used was the Happy Berry Crochet's How to Crochet a Holly Leaf with Berries, and it was one of her Yarn Scrap Friday projects, and that is this section here. Oh, let's turn it that way a bit. Sorry, the colours are quite dark on this. This is actually quite a nice dark green, but it shows more black on screen. It's a pain, isn't it? Right, and these are also from Happy Berry Crochet. Now the pattern for this is How to Crochet a Mini Poinsettia, and it is also a Yarn Scrap Friday project. And so from what I remember, because of course this was back in this was actually year 2, so it was just after I just finished my first year of crochet, because I started in sort of the October time. So these patterns in themselves were really nice and easy to follow each one of them. I must admit that when I was doing this bit here I just got carried away, and I only really watched the taking measurements section and I just got on with it, and then I made it, pulled it, and ended up that underneath this bit here is a lot of gathering and a lot of not so neat stuff. Look, see, not so neat, which is why I ended up doing that many poinsettias to go over the top. But it sort of hangs on my door like that at the moment, but as I said, at some point I want to pop in a couple of little robins here and maybe a bow or something else up here. The door wreath. Yeah, it's had nothing else added to it. I have had a couple of really gorgeous robin patterns fired over at me. I attempted to make one out of a magazine as well, but I've stripped that one back. And it's just sitting somewhere over the other side of my room at the moment, waiting either for a robin or this coming Christmas. It'll probably just be this Christmas and it'll look the same as last year. Right, so, and now let's go and have a look at 12 Days of Christmas, day number 12. 12 Days of Christmas and number 12. Yeah, that looks about right. Right, so I decided this year that I'm going to show you my creation, well, not my creation, but my make for this year's Christmas tree decoration that is going to be going on our tree downstairs. Now, with everything that has gone on this year, I don't really think I can let this pattern slide, and I couldn't not make it. It's one of them ones that will come out year after year after year, and in 20-30 years time, when I get grandkids and great grandkids, okay, hopefully just the first lot, they'll be saying to me, Nan or Gran, depending on what they end up calling me, why have you got a toilet roll on your Christmas tree? So here it is. It's a 2020 toilet roll pattern. Okay, now I haven't quite finished this one because I am actually going to modify and put Grumpy Face on it and a decent thing to hang it on to the tree with. But there it is. Right, so this pattern is by a lady whose channel is called Crochet Therapy, and now the pattern is called 12 Weeks of Crochet Christmas, #10. So I believe she's got 12 patterns within her set of crochet Christmas items. Beautiful video to work from, really simple. She gives you a lot of different options on how to do certain sections of it to make it easier for you. So I really loved it. It took me, what, 20 minutes at most to make up, and half of that was spent getting up and down to the door for Liam, the toe rag on the bed. So yeah, as I said, I found it really lovely. The only modifications I've actually made is that I've tapered my edge here. Now, I didn't actually crochet it and take it in from the sides as I should have really done. I just folded it over at the back. So at the moment I've got a nice little hole here that I can actually put some sort of secret Christmas item in, whether it be a Christmas coin or something. The Christmas toilet roll. Couldn't let it go, could I? It just had to be done. Right, I will add a photo in now of my completed toilet roll. Now, that photograph was actually taken by my mum and sent to me once she had received her toilet roll. There ended up being one on my tree, and one on my mum's, and one on my sister's, and one on my brother's. So I'd sent down a job load of them and just went, hand them out. And what I'd actually done was I'd made some little crackers out of toilet roll tubes that I'd wrapped, and I shoved the toilet roll decoration into it, so when they received it at Christmas they had to crack the cracker and then pull out the toilet roll out of the inside of the toilet roll tube. Sorry, I just thought that was a really funny and creative way to wrap up a present. So, and now let's pop over and have a quick look at my Christmas gift to you. This was from last year, remember? I have cut out all of the tutorial side of it, but of course the links will be somewhere on this video or in the drop down box.
Hello everybody and welcome back. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. Right, so today I am bringing you the information that you will need to make these different snowmen and of course our Santa. Now this is a bolt-on video, okay, that's why it's marked A at the end of the number. And the reason for bolt-on is each one of these patterns, the basic base of it is exactly the same. Okay, so all you're going to be doing is changing the yarn colours within the pattern to be able to then create the one that you're after. Now mine do look in different sizes. That is because I've used a different hook or different yarn. So grab yourself a notepad and a pen, or be prepared to flip between this video and the video that I'm just going to link up here and in the description box down below. Right, so the first pattern you will have seen would have been a gingerbread person with his little buttons. Got his gumdrop buttons. Right, so our little guy here is still holding his gift card, if you can call it that. Right, so let's take that out so you can have a closer look. As you can see, the gift card slides into the bottom there. What you could do is be extra cheeky and roll up some cash and stick it into, like, up the head. That's if you're being extra nice to that child or person that you'll be giving it to. But other than that, here is our little gingerbread man. Now you will have already seen the pattern for this because, as I said, it's the one that is linked. Now to change him from him to the snowman, okay, all you're doing is changing your colours. So you would work the pattern exactly the same. All right, just changing out the brown for the white and the white for the red, or whatever colour you have for the hat, the mittens and his scarf. And then instead of putting on your gumdrop buttons, you're putting on beads. But remember, if you don't have beads or buttons, you can still use the gumdrop method. Okay, so you can still have your guy looking like that and it representing coal, just like I have done in this one. All right, so for this one, your changes are the fact that I've used the gumdrop buttons place my coal, which I've done in grey, and I've done a coal nose, right, with his cheeky smiley face, which I've done slightly different, and I'll probably will do it different again before I send it out, because this is the one I'm changing up. And this one has stick arms. With a few moments I will show you that adaptation once I've shown you Father Christmas. Right, so for Father Christmas, again, I have used the same pattern as before. All right, now the difference here is where you are alternating the colour changes for his belt. And then, of course, you'll be changing colour for his head. And you get to put his little button nose in as you work around the head. And then the extra bits are the beard and the fluffy bit on the hat. Right, so what I'm going to now do is scoot back, because you know how to do this one, because it's just a carbon copy of this one minus this section here. Okay, so it's carbon copy. Right, so here is your added Christmas surprise. Now, you've made these gorgeous card holders. Okay, now if you follow the same pattern and you follow the what I'm about to tell you about each of them, you will be able to turn your snowman into your very first stuffy, which is a snowman stuffy, or a Santa stuffy. And all I've done here is used exactly the same yarn, exactly the same pattern, just with a couple of variations that I'm about to tell you about, and you'll be able to make your own cute version of Santa and a snowman. Have fun, everybody!
So there you go, 8 patterns in one video, just by changing up a couple of little things. I've shown you how you can create something completely different from everybody else. Right, so in that video, of course, was the card holders, and of course the little stuffies. And now on future videos that was over Christmas, you will see them floating around. I don't actually have them to hand because they're up in my loft. And I ain't going up there. Not today anyway. So a link to that pattern will definitely be up here. And it will also be in the end titles as well. Right, so that is it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed having a look back at these older videos, and you never know, you might have found something that you want to create for Christmas this year. Right, I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really soon. So if you can, please stay in. Definitely stay safe, and ta-ra for now, everybody.